If you suffer from anxiety, I'm sure at some point you have asked yourself, will this feeling ever go away completely? Am I going to be normal? Is something wrong with me? Am I broken? Today, we will be talking about long-lasting anxiety and how you can minimize its impact on your life. We are going to be talking about how you can take care of your mental health. This is Carmen Roman. I am a clinical psychologist, and next month I will have 30 years of working with trauma, depression, anxiety. And I have seen a lot of cases, really, really bad cases, that they manage to get better. And it's because they work, and it's because they put whatever they needed to do in their journey, because they made changes in their lives. So stay with me. Let's unpack this topic.
Living in harmony is possible if you know your emotions and how to handle them. I am Dr. Carmen Roman, and I will share with you the current psychology by myself or by interviewing experts who will inspire you. Learn how to live a life of fullness and how to recover your emotional harmony. Welcome to Emotions in Harmony.
Welcome back to this podcast, Emotions in Harmony. I am so glad you are here as always. Thank you for your company. And if you are there, please send an email, ask for a topic, say something, or subscribe to the newsletter. For now, subscribe in Spanish if you speak Spanish, because one of these days I'm going to start with a newsletter in English. So subscribe for the future newsletter in English. Before discussing how long any anxiety disorder can last, it's important to mention that worrying about the future or feeling stressed from time to time is a normal part of life. Nothing wrong with you. The problem is when that feeling interferes with your life, when actually it changes the way you enjoy life, when it changes you. Yeah. So this normal stress is preventing you from making, dangerous things, or is kind of preparing you for new things in your life. But the problem is when we have chronic stress, or we have this intense worrying and feeling overwhelmed by different everyday situations, and when it starts increasing to the point that you cannot manage it, when you start having chest pains or problems controlling your breathing or your sphincters, or you cannot drive, or you cannot be alone, or you cannot go alone, or you cannot get a new job. See what I mean? Your life starts changing because of anxiety. We forget so easily, don't we? And it's normal. It's part of the human experience. Well, if you follow me for these years, you know how much I love technology. And this is why we are so grateful for G-Reminders to be our sponsor. It will help you to be so precise in reminding your client that needs to come and see you, that needs to show up, that is important. And you know what? In G-Reminders, you can customize and customize and customize until your heart is content. So go to greminders.com/harmony and learn about this amazing tool. Accordingly to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, anxiety disorders are the most common mental health problem in the United States. About 18% before the pandemic were suffering from anxiety. I swear to you that during the pandemic, it really jumped to almost everybody. I mean, you need not to be in this planet. Yeah. Not to be worried about the situation that we are living. And talking about situations and worrying, I wish every person who is the decision maker for this conflict against Ukraine to listen to this podcast, to learn about mental health, and to realize how much trauma, generational trauma, we can inflict on others on the name of power. And any person who tries to harm others, we are all one, yeah? We are all one. We cannot just look away. No, this is painful for all of us. This will impact all of us eventually. So, let's go back to our topic. Although the disorders of stress, chronic stress, and anxiety can be treatable, only 1/3% of the population will receive the treatment they need, either because they didn't look for it, didn't ask for help, or they didn't get the correct treatment, or they didn't found any treatment at all. If anxiety goes untreated, it can persist for months or even years, and definitely it can get worse over time. If you suspect you may be suffering from any anxiety disorder, but you don't know really that much about the topic, you can check my episode, Identify Your Anxiety. I talk in that episode about the types of anxiety and what are the different ways to treat them. Or if you know you suffer from anxiety and you identify all the symptoms in your life, but you haven't get the professional treatment you need, my last episode is about how to prepare yourself to ask for therapy. I will leave you these links in the show notes. How long can anxiety last? It will ever go away completely? No. It will never go away completely because I told you, remember? And some level, minimum level, functional level of anxiety is good, it's okay, and it's even healthy. It's when it's overwhelming that is a problem. For the person who has anxiety for many years or extreme anxiety, they really worry when I say that anxiety is going to never go away. For that person, I will say, yes, that kind of anxiety that is overwhelming, it needs to go away. It can and it will. If you do your treatment and you have the discipline, yes, it will go away so you can recover your life. And then you can laugh when you have these minimum waves of anxiety for something new. But that's appropriate. Actually, we have, as clinicians, we have a kind of box that we check. Is that reaction appropriate or inappropriate to the situation? And if I experience something that was really fearful and I respond with fear, that is appropriate. It's an appropriate response. It will be abnormal, actually, not to have fear. Yeah. So we want for you to have this appropriate response to appropriate times. But when it's more than that, when it's intense, that's not life. Lately, we are also dealing with another new pandemic that is the burnout. We are burned out from trying to survive this COVID pandemic. Yeah, we are burned out from trying to adjust to this ever-changing world. So this exhaustion is a normal and appropriate response and is not a medical label. Being burned out is a consequence of a style, of a way of living. So it's nothing wrong with you. It's nothing broken with you. It's just adjustment. Yeah. And adjustment is not a disorder. We are adjusting. We are trying to do our best to adjust to a situation. When it comes to anxiety disorders, and I'm going back to the main topic here, there are definitely ways to alleviate the weight that they have been put in your life. So your part is to take action. That's your part. Your part is to ask for help to your family members, to those family members that can understand, not the ones that don't understand, to your spiritual leaders, to the community, to a social worker, to a psychotherapist, to a psychiatrist, to whatever you need to do to go and ask for help. The reasons why your anxiety may not be going away, I am going to mention 3. Not getting treatment. If you are not getting treatment because you underestimate the power that anxiety can diminish your life, or you underestimate the power that talk therapy can have when it comes with managing anxiety, and instead you try something alternative solutions, like talking to friends that they don't understand, talking to family members that they don't understand. These things can help you alleviate anxiety momentarily, but it will not help you to ease your anxiety or make your anxiety, your severe anxiety, to go away. The reason number 2 is to distinguish between discipline and being mentally strong. Because some family members will tell you, just take it, just get over it, just think about something different, distract yourself. And anxiety just keep boiling inside. It doesn't go away. Ignoring it is not a solution. So why I say versus discipline? Because the discipline is actually looking at the problem and doing baby steps consistently to get the solution. So the solution will not be a magical solution, because the anxiety most likely develop in your life slowly. It didn't develop probably from one day to another. It will go away the same way. And you say, Carmen, okay, I have anxiety ever since that particular moment, traumatic in my life. Probably this is when you notice the anxiety. Probably it was that moment very evident. But most likely you had it before. I know it's scary and it can look like a big mountain to climb, but keep in mind that the things that you are doing every single day to get better are actually habits. You will create new habits. And yes, you will learn to live with anxiety. You will learn to identify when anxiety is coming, is boiling inside you, when it's increasing. And you will learn how to go less deep. When people come to therapy, their episodes of anxiety are long and deep. Then, when they start being disciplined and they start working on their breathing exercises, on their thoughts or philosophy of life, it's not only exercises of breathing, it's approaching your life differently, taking decisions about who you are with, what friends you keep, what friends you let go, what job you keep, what job you let go. It's like totally changing your life. When you start making these baby steps, you will have episodes of anxiety that are shorter and less deep. And eventually, those episodes will be manageable. Shorter, because you know what to do, and you can identify to get out of it quickly or what relationship not to enter, and manageable because they are not that deep. So, discipline versus being tough. Being tough only means hiding the problem and not addressing the problem. So no, you cannot ignore the problem and you cannot be mentally strong. Obviously, because if you could, you already did. So it doesn't work that way. Maybe you will have mixed anxiety with something else like depression, or we talk about burnout, or something else. Or it's an anxiety because it's a particular point in your life, because you are having a surgery or you are buying a new house or something that is different. Yeah. So anxiety can be also an alarm for other mental and physical illnesses, like depression, I told you, irritable bowel syndrome, fibromyalgia, chronic pains, back pain, problems with sleep, for example. Yeah, problems with drugs, with drug abuse. So remember 3 things. Because you are not getting the treatment or the appropriate treatment, because you confuse being mentally strong with actually having discipline, or because you may be suffering from a different issue. In any case, when it comes to anxiety, insist to your therapist, insist to the person that is working with you, I want this to go away. I want to work to eliminate anxiety from my life. Those are my recommendations. Of course, I am a psychotherapist, yeah? I'm biased of the benefits of psychotherapy. I have been loving psychotherapy for 30 years. So psychotherapy, talk therapy, is going to be the solution. And the way I describe it is, okay, let's agree that your anxiety needs medication. Very few people needs medication, but some people need medication. So you work with your psychiatrist and your psychotherapist together. The psychiatrist will help you to identify those meds and will kind of address with tailor for you the cocktail of meds that you need to take. And it will help you to go slowly or less when you start improving. So, not forever. Sometimes the medication is kind of crutches, like when you break your leg and you need to support yourself to go and walk for a while until you heal your leg. Yeah. So medication can help you while you do talk therapy, and then together you get better. And then eventually you don't need the medication. So keep in mind that medication will not necessarily make your anxiety disappear, but it will help you to relieve symptoms. And sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes it actually helps for you to get back to normal or semi-normal, and then start working on those symptoms anyway. So work on medication, find the right psychiatrist for you, and always combine with talk therapy. Number 3, make sure you don't have any other issues. Ask always if you think you have depression or burnout or something else that needs to be addressed in your psychotherapy or by your psychiatrist. Always ask what else you have, or even do a physical checkup. I have this anxiety and I want to know all my physical data, so I want to keep checking on that too. Number 4, make sure you are taking good care of yourself. Make sure you sleep the right amount of hours for your body, that you exercise at least 20 minutes a day, and you avoid foods or drinks that trigger anxiety. Bye-bye caffeine, bye-bye these drinks for waking up. Yeah. Or sometimes bye-bye sugar or alcohol. Sorry, I know. Yeah, I know it's hard. But you need to learn to listen to your body. And we always know. If you know alcohol or that cake, that piece of cake, or you know that coffee is not going to help you, or 3 cups of coffee during the day are not helping you, you are not working to heal your anxiety. Therefore, yes, you may have it all your life. It requires discipline, remember. So make sure you are taking that proper care of yourself. And sometimes psychotherapy is actually about helping the people to be compliant with what they know they should be doing. Yeah. Sometimes it's around, because remember, we are complex. We are beautifully complex human beings, and our mind works that way. So sometimes the psychotherapy is to open that complexity and see why, even though you read, you are not doing what you're supposed to do. Thank you for being with me today and talking about this anxiety. Please subscribe to the podcast. Please come and visit us in www.emotionsinharmony.org. We are there to help, to serve you. Bye for now.
We have reached the end of another episode of the podcast Emotions in Harmony. See you the next week. Visit www.emotionsinharmony.org, where you can subscribe, find the notes, and be in direct contact with me. Thanks for listening.